Warning. It is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions, LLC, and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. On the show today, we will be holding another draft. This is a draft of the dream guest of the show. The 4 categories will be famous people that are alive, famous people that are dead. Then we'll have a fictional person, and finally, civilians. The civilians could be alive or dead. Enjoy the show. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by the Madman Sean Day, Strong Stem Steve Cabot, Lasmeeshma Liam Reese, and the bad boy Bern Podcasy Bern Podcasy. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Yeah, also on Instagram, Work Perspectives Podcast. And you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok, the Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. Sean Douglas Day, how are you, my man?
I'm sick as fuck, but I got some whiskey here. And we all know if you put whiskey in a wound, it kills the germs. So I'm hoping if I drink it, it'll kill the germs inside of me, maybe.
Hell yeah. I love
We'll
that.
see what happens.
Yeah, shout out. Good.
I mean, it makes sense. It's science, right?
Yeah, that's 100% science. Strong Stem, how are you, sir?
He's feeling a little juiced up. Was up there in the Grace Hall at the good old University of Lehigh watching some Lehigh, Oklahoma State battle. Came back feeling like I'm, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years better than or younger on the mat than I was before. I feel like I'm better at this shit again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a pro. Yeah,
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
Lasmeeshma, how art thou, sir?
Good, man. Feeling good.
Good. Glad to hear.
Yep.
Yep, nice. Benoit Podcasy, how are you, sir?
Living the dream, man. Missed last week, but happy to be back. The draft's already over because I won it. I'm looking at my sheet right now, and I wish all you guys luck for second place.
Good, thank you. Thank you for that. Speaking of second place, this is the Working Perspectives podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. Would you share it? Would you share it? Would you share it? Working Perspectives.
All right. So on the show this week, we had the parents of the one and only Jana the Heartstopper Hehlo. Really great show. Loved getting a little background on Jana the Heartstopper Hehlo. She's just the best. And her parents, as you can imagine, are incredible. Sean, real quick, what did you think of today's episode?
It was good. I didn't catch the last end of it, but because I was farming today,
Yeah.
I was burying a dead goat, so I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that's my excuse. It's a valid excuse, but I didn't get to listen to the whole thing. But the first half was good. I liked it.
Nice. Love it. Very good. Yeah, I liked it. Benoit, I know you and me have known Janene a long time. What do you think of Jana's parents?
It's funny. I had met them like a couple times at Vinny's, but like never like sat down and bullshitted with them. Just like met them and we're like, oh, they seem delightful. That's probably why Jan is so delightful.
Yeah.
But They're brutal, man. I mean, they don't fuck around. Like, I see where she gets her sense of humor from. I see how she knows she has that. Like, she and J-Dub are starting to have this really nice back and forth on the Tuesday shows of just like two absolute cutting sniper comments that kill you, but also don't make you feel bad. And listening to her mom, I was like, oh, I know where she gets it. I know where she gets the cursing club from too. Like, I can see what's happening here. But yeah, Jack Nancy, what a stud crew. And she was just as cute as a button on that. She was so happy to talk to her parents. You could tell like they really like each other, which is not always the case.
Yeah, no, I agree. Plus two, I'll tell you, the dime dropper of the day was fucking Jack of Jack Nancy.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
He was dropping fucking heaters. What did you think, Lasmeeshma?
I was going to say that when he said I could have had beer, that's definitely in the running
fucking
for like
line of
for
the
like
night.
the awards. Yeah.
Most dynamite dropping. Dynamite dropping.
That's going to be in there. That's going to be in there.
Oh, for sure. Man, that's going to be so good. Nice. And Strong Stem, what do you think of today's episode? I mean, you've been on the show with Jana once or twice, but you're a big fan of her, and you're not a big fan of all the female co-hosts that we have. So, what?
Damn, son. Damn.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Air him out.
Why are you making me look like some fucking beast? All right, Rico fucking Suave, Mr. Perfect, suck it.
All right. Well, I mean, don't make any more.
Actually,
girls.
I'm very good friends with most of the ladies. What's the matter with you?
I'm not saying you're not friends with them, but you've made several cry on air.
That's not fucking true. What is this several shit? Well, actually, you're a girl and you've cried. I made you cry, so that counts. It definitely counts.
Amen to that.
Oh, got him.
Yeah. So, all right, what do you think of today's episode, Strong Sam?
The beer story was wild. Again, like the second I heard that, I'm like, wait. Now, was Uncle whatever his name maybe lying to everybody?
Could be.
Who knows? Could be one of those family stories, but I was into it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I may or may not tell that exact same story to someone at a bar one day, but just cut into me and pull. Yeah, hell yeah, because it was quite entertaining for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so then let's keep it moving. Next week on the show, we'll have professional makeup artist for the stars. Jill Harth will be on the show. She has an incredible story. Lived in Vegas, Boca Raton. She has worked with the one and only Donald Trump. She has some stories about him. She was at, where was his place that was raided?
Mar-a-Lago.
She was there. So she's got some crazy stories with some crazy celebrity stories. And she's just, honestly, she runs a perfume line that we're going to promote. And she was just a really, really awesome guest. So really looking forward to the Jill Harth episode next week. But right now, like we said, it is time for the draft. So let's get the draft order ready to go. I have the randomizer and I'm sharing.
We already know.
So
I'm first.
Is someone going to beat Steve? Can someone finally beat Steve? Does anybody have a chance to beat Steve this time?
I beat him last week. I beat him last time with the candy.
The only thing you beat was your meat, you queer.
Oh, does anyone masturbate more than you, Steve?
Nah, I got bros, cuz you're the one all by yourself with a kid and shit. You're down there squacking it out when you can. Don't look at me, cuz I'm out here living my life.
You jerk off in an auto garage bathroom regularly.
How dare you?
For the record, the last two drafts were not put up for a poll, so we don't officially have.
So I'm the only one. I'm a one-time champ, right? I'm the only
Steve's
champ.
Still the only one with the belt.
That's right, baby. Hold the fuck on a second.
By the people.
Hold on.
By the people for he's a FUBU, for you by you for Steve.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I can put.
Where do you think he's going?
I can put up the draft, but if if only one person posts it and no one sees it, then it's like, how many votes are we even gonna get, right? So either way, let's keep it moving. I'm going to share. I'm sharing right now. I have the list here. The list. Yep. The list as it stands. Liam, Matt, Steve, Sean, Bern. I'm hitting the randomizer now to get the draft order. For those of those listening, Steve left screen for a little bit to go get his championship belt. He is
a fucking champion.
He's a champion. All right. Here we go. And for fucking fuck's sake, the draft order is with the number one pick.
The champion gets #1 seed.
Strong
He
Stem
could have
Steve
written that better.
Cabot. Yeah, how about it? Strong Stem Steve Cabot with the #1 pick, then Lasmeeshma, then me, then Sean, then Bern bringing it up the rear. But it is a snake draft, as you remember. So
Oh.
Bern ends it and he starts it.
I've never
So-
been on the end of one of these here. I've always been right in the middle,
Ooh.
so I'm excited.
Yeah. So, all right. So good. Okay. So 1, 2, 3.
So-
all right. So let's get this thing going. So this is the draft of the dream guest of the show. A reminder again of the 4 categories. You need to have a famous person that was alive, a famous person that was dead or that is dead, a fictional character, and then a civilian. The civilian can be alive or dead. And when I say civilian, I just mean non-famous person. We all understand that?
Mhm.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
good. Okay. So, all right. Now with the first pick of the dream guest draft,
The
Strong Sense-
defending, the holding. Come on, man. Give me my fucking proper entry. You see it, Amy?
Yeah.
Bum,
Okay.
bum, 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 bum.
Yep,
Steve.
Yep. Go ahead, Steve.
Thank you very much. So I don't know. This one was kind of tough. The dead one's always hard, right? Because there's so many fucking people in history.
Sure.
So I'm gonna start it off with a bang. Get rid of the one I think I just don't want nobody chasing down. Is a guy who is actually famous but never authored any texts. Never. There's nothing written for him, right? This motherfucker was the founder of Western philosophy. Going with Socrates, cuz.
Socrates.
Let's go.
Off
He
the
going
board?
down. I need to talk to him, right? And again, he got jailed for corrupting the youths. And
I mean, he
then back
was
then,
Greek.
you know what they
That's
do?
all
You
they
know,
did.
of course. And you know what they do down there when it's a forced suicide. It's not like they do it. They force you to drink poison. And then,
Wow.
But I'm going to take Socrates right off the board, man. I
Wow.
want to pick his brain about his,
great.
he going
Off
hard
the
in the
board.
paint.
So great.
Like a fucking #1 seed should. He coming
So-
out like Sword Dog. Home run, lead off. You know what I mean?
So
One of the
great
greatest
off
thinkers
the
in Western
board.
history.
That's
You know?
right.
Wow.
And I need to pick his brain.
Wow. All right.
And maybe
Very
see
nice.
aspire to with some of them Greek whoas.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the Greek Coors,
Sorry.
aka the children, right? The
The
boys,
boy- yeah,
the
the
boy
boys.
lovers.
The fellas.
right?
No!
Yeah, because
No!
the Greeks were famously
No!
boy lovers.
All right, I want to bang
Well,
those kids' moms, not them.
I don't know.
Okay.
Jesus
I feel like
Christ, where's
the-
your mom?
To be fair, the Greeks kind of didn't give a shit. You know, I don't know if they were specifically the boys. They were just it was all just,
Pretty
just let it-
famous for being boy lovers. Just
Well,
All right,
they were
all
girl lovers
right.
too. They just any port in a storm. They
They
didn't really
fucked
give a
everything. Yep, they just
Yeah.
pulled up.
Yeah, they didn't
all
care.
right. Well, okay, great. Either way, Lasmeeshma, your first pick. Let us have it.
I'll do a fictional character, and we are going to have John Rambo on the show.
Oh my
Oh, shit.
God,
Johnny
you
Rams.
motherfucker, Lasmeeshma, you son of a
I'll
bitch.
talk to Johnny.
You son of a bitch. You kind of stole a pick from me, fucking bastard.
What are you going to
Well,
do?
either way,
Well, get a better draft slot, buddy.
well, with my pick, my first pick in the draft, I'm gonna keep the Rambo theme going. I'm gonna go with a live, famous person alive. I'm gonna have fucking the dream guest for this show is Sylvester fucking Stallone.
Yeah, that would
Is
be
the
good.
dream fucking guest of this show. If I had to pick one person alive right now that I could get on this fucking show, it is fucking Sly. He has built a $1 billion empire with the Rocky franchises, let alone Rambo, let alone Expendables. The guy is he's a fucking genius. Say what you want.
And
He's a fucking G.
his greatest accomplishment is having smoke shows for daughters.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
What?
This fucking guy. Oh my God.
No
Stallone's
ugly wives,
daughters-
no ugly daughters, man.
Dude,
Nope.
Stallone's
You
wives, or Stallone's daughters, fans of the show, listeners of
His wives haven't
the
been
show.
bad either.
Ridiculous.
Wait,
Yeah, no,
isn't John Stallone? There's a new show or movie coming out on Prime or
Mhm.
something where
Yeah.
he's like a retired gangster, and
He's a gangster right out of prison going into some kind of like podunk area, and
that looks good,
Fucking
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
It looks really
Dude,
good.
You know what show was actually pretty good? I think it was called Spartan. It was a movie where
I saw it.
he played like a superhero that was supposed to be dead that he was like hiding, and he was
Yep.
like, it was really good. It was like kind of dark, but it was pretty
not
good.
not that long ago, right? Fairly recently.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah,
Dude,
I've seen it
Stallone-
advertised. I just haven't watched it, but it's recent.
Yeah, I'll say this also, like when and I like when 300 came out, right? The new like fitness as a like fitness, the fitness genre is very fashionable, right? Like things change. So like when 300 came out and they saw that all those guys got jacked flipping tires, every fucking gym in the world was like, "Oh, I got to get a fucking tire now."
You got to
right?
get 3 more tires.
Dude,
Yeah. Load 'em up.
Stallone has been that fucking guy, like leading the charge in
100%.
fitness since fucking dude. In Rocky, know this. I had a friend's dad that said
You punch your meat.
Well, no, after Rocky came out, he went to football camp that summer and he was running around the track with the team and he saw that these guys had been drinking raw eggs and had thrown them up on
Jesus
the side
Christ. Yeah,
because
so
they
it's not
saw it
good.
in the fucking movie, right? Like that's just how it goes, dude. Plus 2, if you look at him between 1 and 2 and then in 3, he changed the fucking game because of how shredded he got. And then 4, forget about it. He was the epitome of fucking,
That V, that V shape.
dude. He
Like,
was, Stallone's the man. Stallone's
His shoulders
dude,
were
and
so
even-
much wider than his waist was.
Oh.
So much wider.
And
than
then
Now,
and then
he is
think,
paying for it a little bit later in life. He kind
Sure,
of looks like a
sure.
melting candle at this point, but I love
dude,
it.
But how old is he?
Dude, he still's pretty jacked. Like,
I'm
old
not
is
talking
he?
about his physique. I'm talking about the skin melting off his face. Like when you
Yeah,
blow
sure.
a candle out too
Right.
early, it leaves those little like waves at the bottom.
but that's
You just pick
that'll be
that right
any
off the
guy.
icing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tough. It's tough for any guy that age. But dude, he's still like even movies like Demolition Man, fucking
Hell yeah.
classic.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
That's a great
Cliffhanger.
movie.
Cliffhanger was a fucking classic.
Banger.
Remember
Banger.
when he got all fat for Copland?
Oh,
Copland is
Copland was a
underrated.
great
Copland's awesome.
movie.
Dude,
People shit all over
Copland
that.
is
Great movie.
Yeah, Copland is really good movie, dude.
Yeah,
He got
Copland
big and
was
beefy and
great.
like kind of out of shape. He was supposed to be like a kind of out of shape older security dude.
Dude.
He like had a gut for the first time I've ever seen Stallone have a gut in his entire
Yeah.
40-year career. Like
There's been a lot of like Stallone movies too that people don't know. Like after like he was on top of the world after Rocky and Rambo, right? And like Rambo First Blood, incredible movie. But he did a movie where
Tango
he
and
played,
Cash.
He played Tango and Cash, but he did a movie where he played like a Jimmy Hoffa character and stuff. Like he's like I did a deep dive on his IMDb and it was like nuts, just the shit he's done. But all right, either way, Sean,
Jesus.
you're up. Let's go. Sean's pick.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
me, he's famous. He's pretty famous. You guys probably never heard of him, but his name's Richard Marcinko.
Mm-hmm.
He's the founder of SEAL Team 6.
SEAL Team 6. Yeah, that bull.
Ooh, is
Alive
he
or
still
dead,
alive?
Sean?
Alive.
He's alive. He's alive. Yeah,
Wow. All
I met
right.
him before on the East Coast at the 2012 SEAL reunion. Fucking badass dude. But he's after the Iranian hostage issue, they founded SEAL Team 6 and they got Richard Marcinko to set up the whole team. And he started Red Cell. So he was Red Cell. Like they were testing out, like before 9/11, they were testing out the security of various things in the military, such as like even commercial airlines. So he famously snuck like a fake grenade onto a airline flight back in like the 80s, and he's like shaped how we do security on various realms within the military.
So this guy, like, he was in the SEALs and he was such a badass that he was like, I'm gonna invent an even higher level of SEALs in SEAL Team 6. Is that kind of his
Well, he
deal?
created SEAL Team 6. So like there was the
That's
regular
incredible.
SEAL teams. At the time, I think there's only SEAL Team 1 and 2, and he decided to call it SEAL Team 6 to even though there wasn't 6 SEAL teams at the time, just so the rest of the world thought there were 6 SEAL teams, but there wasn't. There was only 2.
Smart.
That's
Real
pretty
smart.
fucked,
Yeah.
dude. That's next.
Sean, what
I mean,
was his name
smart.
again? What was his name?
Richard Marcinko.
Richard Marcinko.
Marcinko.
Yeah,
Okay, I just want to be sure.
He's got tons of books out there. He's
Nice.
super
All
famous.
over YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to look this guy up.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
that's
dope.
a
It's cool,
great
it's dope.
fucking pick.
They did some like show on him or some shit I seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the coolest stuff I thought was like the Red Cell team, because the Red Cell stuff was amazing. He was like just testing every aspect of American society. He was like, they were basically like they said, hey, they call him Dick, Richard, Dick. Like, hey, Dick, pretend you're a terrorist and you want to take down America. How would you do it?
Hmm.
And then they're like, okay, well then do it. And then like they'd make him actually try to do what he said he was going to do and see if it was possible. And that's what he did for Red Cell. Like all kinds of crazy shit. Shit that's probably classified that I don't even know about, but it's
Damn. That's
Yeah,
fucking
it's nuts.
badass. Nice. All right. And Bern, ending round 1. What do you got?
You know, I almost didn't want to hit the category because we've already had 2 alives. I thought that might be open, but I do want to get this down. So what I was thinking about when you gave the parameters was who would be the best guests for either the Working Perspective podcast or like the Weekend Pop-In, right? Who would thrive on a show like this?
Mm-hmm.
And my alive celebrity is Jordan Belfort, the
Wolf of Wall Street.
The
Yeah,
Wolf
the
of
story.
Wall Street.
Yep, hell yeah.
Wrote 2 books about it. I read the first book. It is way more fucking depraved than the movie. Even, I mean, I don't know if it's bullshit or whatever, but oh yeah, no, they actually church it up in the Wolf of Wall Street movie about the stuff that he says they're actually doing behind the scenes. Yeah, it's insane. So he wrote The Wolf of Wall Street, then he wrote Catching the Wolf, but this motherfucker scammed the entire world on penny scams. He ended up going to jail for 22 months. He popped out. He wrote 2 books. He's still living the deal, and I feel like a dude like that would be a phenomenal guest on the Working Perspectives podcast. Like, okay, so hey Jordan, we hear you wrestled a little bit in high school. What about that time you defrauded the FBI? Like, that guy would dominate. And most of his stories are about like drinking champagne out of like hookers' butts, and like, I mean, he really doesn't give a shit. So he's pretty much all out there. And I'm going.
Does anyone ever seen what his like who's the lady that Margot Robbie's based off of? Right,
his
like
first wife.
But what is she? Have you seen what she looks like in real life? Is she like an absolute
I bet
smoke?
Of course she is. We know.
I mean,
that.
She's got to be. I don't know if she's Margot Robbie, but there's no way you're kicking her out of bed for eating crackers. Like, this guy was.
It would take
this
a
guy
lot.
was pulling in 8 figures. You know, I'm sure she's A-okay.
Yeah. All right, fucking shout out. All right, good pick. All right, Bern. All right, so that's the end of round 1. So we're starting off round 2. Benoit Podcasy, who you got? First pick, round 2. Let's go.
Ooh, this is tough. There's a couple places I want to go. Like I said, my philosophy was who are going to be the best guests for this podcast. I'm going civilian, and I'm calling it out right here. And we're going to see if we can get it done. We're going to see if it'll happen. John Bell.
Oh,
I am calling John Bell as my civilian pick for the Working Perspectives podcast.
Oh, wow. That was a fucking sleeper
I would love that.
pick. That is Benoit hitting it fucking hard right there. Pretty good.
Let's get this weird little mutant who I've never had anything but the most delightful time with on this show. At some point, let's get him on here. Let's get all the N-Dub guys on there. Let's get everybody in there. Everybody who knows how weird Bell is and how delightful he is. Let's get them all on. Let's bring him on for a round table for his first thing, and we'll just talk about him.
John Bell round
the craziest motherfucker I've ever met, and I don't know him nearly as well as you guys do, but he fascinates me, and I want John Bell as my civilian.
Yeah, love him.
Does anybody have the number for Panicos?
You
We can call him right now.
You know what? Did I tell you what Bell
The
calls?
payphone's still in there?
Bell calls Panicos the corral because that's where he goes to do some herding. That's what he said.
There be some in there.
There be some herds running through. So, all right. Sean Douglas, great Bern. I'll tell you, you weren't lying when you said you had a decent
my
team.
list
Thus
is
far,
my list is solid. My list is good.
Sean Douglas Day, what do you got for pick number 2? So you did famous person alive as your first pick, right, Sean? Yeah, Richard Mancinko. Okay, Marcinko. Go ahead, Sean.
I think he's mute.
Yeah,
there we go.
I'm good. Yeah, so the guy I'm going to choose is, for modern day times, he's quite literally probably the most important person. The guy's name is Fritz Haber. So he created the Haber-Bosch process. So he basically developed a way to synthesize nitrogen from the atmosphere. And in farming, the most limiting factor in almost all farms is nitrogen. And if it wasn't for his process right now, we could literally not sustain life on Earth right now. Like at 9 billion people. Without his process, we could not do it at all. So, and I think he won the Nobel Peace Prize in chemistry.
Fritz Haber.
Fritz Haber. He's like literally without the. It's called the Haber-Bosch method, but without his process, everyone would starve right now. Like I think I've heard some estimates that we can only, without his method, if we were doing just natural methods of getting nitrogen from the air with plants, we could maybe support maybe 3 billion people. That's it.
Damn. That is
Yeah.
important. I always
Yeah.
wondered
Celebrity?
too.
We dead celebrity here? Or is he dead
Is he
civilian?
alive or dead?
Oh, he's dead. He's been dead for
He's been
All
dead
right,
for-
so we'll do dead
yeah.
famous person then.
yeah, 1934. Yeah.
Damn.
And also
Damn.
what's crazy too is it's crazy because people often say like he's almost like the single reason why the population increased so much. Like if you look at like the way we produced food back in the 30s and 40s, once his method began, we started producing tons of food and the population started taking off. But it's crazy because his method was also made to use bombs. So his process not only did it was helped to grow food,
yeah.
but they made a shit ton of bombs out of it.
Jesus.
So it's kind of crazy. Like the ingredients
like
for
both ends. Yeah.
yeah, like the ingredients for making a good crop, like good fertilizer, is also the great ingredients for a bomb.
So
Nice.
okay, so nitrogen. So the fertilizer would supply the nitrogen previously, right? Is that was like?
No, so basically with nitrogen before you got special plants called legumes, and they've got these special bacteria on there that create a symbiotic symbiosis with another bacteria, and they actually grab nitrogen from the air. So the oxygen in the air is only like 18%. The rest is all nitrogen. Like our air you're breathing is like 79% nitrogen.
Oh,
but
shit.
like a legume crop, like there's certain plants that can actually collect it from the air, and then other plants steal it from that plant. That's how it happens. But he basically was like he bypassed all of that, bypassed plants, and just started taking it directly from the air through his process.
Damn.
And
That's
started
pretty
growing all kinds of
badass.
crops. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome, dude. All right. So shout out Fritz Hobert. Very cool. All right. We'll keep it moving then. So my pick for round 2, I'm going to go famous person who's dead. And I'm going to go the one and only, the Duke himself, John fucking Wayne is going to be on the show.
No
John
more
Wayne.
predictable pick in the history of the Working Perspectives podcast than Maddie taking John Wayne.
You knew it.
It's
You know
perfect.
it. I
It's
fucking
perfect.
love him.
It's perfect. I know you do.
He's the fucking man. Is there I would just love to hear if he would come on and not hold back on the amount of poos that he got. He was John fucking Wayne, dude. Like he's got to be on like Derek Jeter level of getting it. You know what I mean? His resume's got to be crazy. So nice. Very good. All right, let's keep it moving then. Lasmeeshma, what do you got? Pick 2.
I'll do Famous Dead again. Or no, not again. I'll do Famous
Hell
Dead.
yeah.
And I'll do Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh my
Considered it.
God.
On my list.
I was thinking about him too, actually. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Nice. All right. Anything to add to that, Lasmeeshma? Or you good?
I just want to know, like, if he really did do all that shit. Like, if he really did do all those
do you
drugs.
think he would lie about that?
I don't know. Some of it is a lot. You know what I mean? Like, when you read, like, all that in one day, I don't know if your heart would explode, you know?
Dude, he was.
But
writing
he's
a book
definitely a
about the
mutant,
Hells
so-
Angels, and he joined the Hells Angels, and then he went home and beat the shit out of his wife, and she divorced him. And he was like, "Yeah, I think I was hanging out with the Hells Angels too much." Like he lived it. He when he threw himself in there, he lived it. And he was a sheriff in Colorado. Have you ever seen the Breakfast of Champions? Liam, Breakfast of Champions, right? Have you ever seen Hunter Thomas's Breakfast of Champions? It's like
Nah.
we did it for our buddy, former guest of the show, Murph's bachelor party. I'll try to find it, but it's like what Hunter Thompson would go to a hotel and order from like 6 a.m. to like 3 p.m. and it's incredible. I mean, there's cocaine, there's key lime pie, there's Chivas Regal, there's cheap beer, there's poppers and nitrous. Like, and we did it for Murph's bachelor party. We ran it.
Know what I want to ask him? I want to ask him if he really traded 2 Super Bowl tickets for a hat, a joint, and a half-drank bottle of wine.
I think he did because he was really mad.
Super Bowl was this?
Whichever one that.
Yeah, back in like the 70s, you know.
He was really mad. They had the president of the United States there. I think it was Hubert Humphrey or whoever it was. He just hated that dude, and he was like, "Fuck that, I'm not going."
Yeah, he hated Nixon. Like so much. But yeah, he would be a great guest.
Might have been Nixon.
Damn.
HST, great call, Liam.
Wow,
great call.
Love it. Very good. Very nice. All right, Strong Stem. What do you got for pick 2? Let's go.
So I'm going to keep it on the same spectrum as my last one, but we're going to go living, right? And this man happened to just miss he was the last of a Mohican, where he just missed the time period where every fucking person on this planet has a handheld camera of some sort or something to videotape people and catch them in their dumbest moments, right? I got to talk to Bill Clinton. I got to hear
shit.
Bill's stories. He's getting older. He's almost
God
dead.
damn it, Steve.
This guy-
Fucking
Wrong
Steve.
step.
This guy was grabbing
How?
titties in the
How does
hallway.
he keep doing
This guy, any girl that walked by, he would just smack
How
her
does
ass.
Steve keep doing this?
Oh
How does he keep doing this?
God.
So many girls came out
that's
on
a
this
perfect
man,
pick.
and they were all like, well, you know what? We don't have any video or testimony. It's you versus him, and that's Bill Clinton. So I'm sorry. She's like, wait, I have a handprint on my ass still. And then, like they said, so again, Billy, this old school Arkansas sweet talking motherfucker, gets
Dude.
all broads coming up, right? Again, this guy was a ladies' man, the ultra
Sure.
cocksman, right?
Oh,
Does he have to look out the door from his office and find the first bitch he sees and be like, what's her name again? Monica, come on over here. And then that's the one that takes him down?
When
Come
he was
on.
running for president, he had an older brother. His name was Roger Clinton. And this dude was like a way fatter, way less successful Bill Clinton, but still had that kind of like,
yeah.
hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? How you? And like he was just terrorizing the tabloids for months. He's like, my brother's running for president. You better get down here and give this a kiss. Like
Sucked
just
his nut.
the biggest
I didn't bring
fucking
this out to
scumbag.
breathe.
And remember,
Yeah, I was
the
just saying,
very,
you know.
the very last of that era where there was nobody to catch him either. Like shit
No.
was still real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
so I
God
had
damn,
before he
dude.
dies, I got to hear
God
Bill's
damn it,
fucking
Steve.
stories.
Fucking Steve.
That
God
is
damn
a
it, Steve.
great pick, dude. I bet he was like, all right, Lewinsky, she got a little meat on them bones.
She got a little wagon. Come
She
here,
got
back
a little,
that up,
yeah.
honey.
She got some.
Dude,
It
you
was
don't
a
know her
Wednesday.
skills, though. You don't know
It
her
was a
skills.
Wednesday, and he was the president of the United States. He was like,
Yeah.
I got a little headache. I need a Diet Coke. I'll use a blowjob as well.
Yeah,
As a
who's
Wednesday,
around? Who's
10:40.
around?
Send that girl the purple dress.
It always reminds me of that joke from Good Will Hunting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where the pilot's on the like this guy's on a
Buh,
plane.
buh,
The
buh, buh.
pilot comes
Oh,
on the
not the Minnie Driver
loudspeaker. Well, the pilot comes on the loudspeaker and he's like, God, I'm tired. You know what I could really use? A blowjob and a cup of coffee. Then the
Hell yeah.
stewardess takes off running, and then I yell, hey, lady, don't forget the coffee.
Yep.
That's what it always reminds me of.
But
Fucking
again,
Hanukkah.
the ultimate cocksman. And again, I said I tried to bookcase
Yeah.
this with the Socrates, right? One guy who
No,
invented
legendary
it,
cocksman.
the philosophy, and then the other guy who took that philosophy and kind of curved the field goal in to get bitches. Exactly what he did. He didn't care anything about the country.
Bill Clinton was the first guy who did this. He was the first guy who did the thumb point. He'd go,
Oh,
I think
Yeah.
he
He nailed
invented
it.
the thumb point.
he
Yeah.
he
He
nailed
started
it.
like, I'm
Nailed
not
it.
pointing at you, but I understand what you're saying.
It makes
Okay.
me feel
Yeah, I'm gonna-
comfortable and
yeah,
it
you know,
empowers
I'm gonna-
you when I talk to you.
Mhm,
You'll never
mhm,
believe this, but
mhm.
in one town, I had sex with 16 women at one time. I'd be like, yeah, Bill, yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Dude was
love
also
too to
a
hear him
Rhodes
shit all
Scholar
over
and
Hillary.
went to Oxford. You know,
I'd never put my dick near that bitch, and that's not a lie. I've never fucked my wife before in my life.
Yeah.
when they were drilling.
Tell him you don't look like her.
When they were drilling him about whether or not he had sexual relationships, and he asked,
No.
his lawyer asked, "Can you define is?"
Yes,
And
that's
the other
why he
lawyer was
said
like,
that. Well, did you? So in the, I forget what the.
It's
Isn't it the story is that they had it sexual relations was written out in a certain way,
Yes.
so that's why he said I didn't have sexual relations with her because they were talking about intercourse. And he's like,
Yes.
of course I didn't fuck her, so I didn't lie. I got my dick
Nope.
sucked, but I ain't sticking my
Yeah.
dick in her, and that's what you guys said I did. I didn't do that. I just
Yeah.
Yep.
got my dick sucked.
Yeah.
should have made a broader case, man. You got too specific on it. You know?
Legend,
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah. Also,
How many dudes
it's
are like,
Hillary's
yeah, I
fault,
fucked her, and then
so.
when it's all said and done, it's like, I don't know, she rubbed my dick for a couple minutes, but then I couldn't
Yeah.
get hard, and I had to go home, and she had
Yeah.
a curfew, and I was sick, so... I mean, you're relying on the dude to tell the truth about what happened in the backseat. That's a lie 90% of the time.
Dude, I would love just if the walls of the Oval Office could talk, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you get
dude.
some stories from JFK, right? You get some stories from Abe and fucking his
Yeah,
what's
his
fucking
was
wife?
and a couple
Yeah.
of his buddies.
You knew Abe had a thing for the chocolate.
They
right?
was
Like,
running
come on.
trains in
Abe-
there, yo.
You
Abe
should
got a
know.
thing for the fellas as well.
Abe
Yeah.
Lincoln?
Yep. Yeah, they said he had a little.
I heard
a
that
little-
too.
Yeah,
little-
dude.
Yeah, he had a little
Dude.
birdish to him.
Dude,
Was a
for
little
the whole
too
time.
into the wrestling because remember he was a wrestling champion
Yeah,
too.
He
He was a
He's in the
little
Wrestling Hall of Fame.
scary to
Yeah.
know that a man like him might like me and I can't do a goddamn thing about it.
Wait,
Yeah,
they
well,
used
he's
to
like
call him the Iron
6'6", like a buck
String.
85, and you're like, what is this guy I'm fighting right now? Who is
Dude,
this
wait,
spider
so
human?
That's funny because the president before him, James Buchanan, the 15th president, was an openly gay president
Yep.
and had a relationship with the governor, like, you know, the representative, I think, from
But
Mississippi.
no one spoke about it. It was just
They
not
didn't care. They
spoken
just
about.
didn't care.
Didn't
Yeah.
care.
How did we just get Clinton cursed? I feel like we went from Bill to now shitting
No.
on other presidents.
Clinton
Hillary called
banged-
in, was like,
Clinton
yo,
banged
switch it up.
so many women that we have to have a social
Yeah, to even
responsibility
it out.
conversation afterwards just to even it out. Like, we understand that everyone enjoys their sexuality. Was Bill
Hell
Clinton
yeah.
a predator? You're goddamn right he was. Was he the
Fucking
best
right
predator?
he
though?
was.
You're
I
goddamn
mean,
right.
I don't
Yeah, he made it to
know.
president.
You know, they want, dude, don't get it twisted. Monica wanted to put her mouth around the president's hog.
and
Let's be honest.
And you know for a fact when they said Trump said grab him by the pussy, he went, "That's all that pussy did? You should have seen what I did, rookie."
No, Bill was like, I used to flick him. Used to flick him. Never
You gotta
grab.
tickle it
Didn't
and
flick.
be light.
Can't
And
grab,
remember-
can't
Doing it
flick,
all wrong.
got to flick, must flick.
Dude,
Give it
don't-
a
He's doing it
flick.
all wrong.
Go ahead,
Don't forget, Bill Clinton admitted that he smoked trees, but never
Hell
inhaled.
yeah.
He said he
Pussy.
never inhaled it.
I
I know.
So he
Yeah.
smoked.
This
What
dude-
the fuck does that even mean? Yes, he did. You either smoked it or you didn't. He's a beast, man. He just
Yeah, he is.
spins shit so he
Yeah,
can't
he
get in
does.
trouble, you know?
He
He's
was
just
like a
too damn
fucking-
smooth.
He was almost like a pastor mixed with
We
a
got-
politician. That
We
he
have to
just
move on. because
memorized
Steve
shit.
already made a great pick, and we've just all gassed it up so much.
Yeah,
Like, we
right.
got to give him
Yeah.
the next one.
All right,
Shout
out
go
Bill
ahead.
Clinton.
So,
Yeah.
Fucking
uh,
Steve, he's so good
let-
at this.
So let's do, hold on real quick. I'm going to do a first 2 rounds recap. So in the first round, Steve picked Socrates, Liam picked John Rambo, I went Sylvester Stallone, Sean did Richard Marcinko, and Bern did Jordan Belfort. Then to start off round 2, Bern did John Bell, Sean did Fritz Hobart, I did John Wayne, Liam did Hunter S. Thompson, and Steve ended round 2 with Billy fucking Clinton. Now Steve
Strong.
is starting round number 3. What do you got?
Guys,
Strong stem.
Strong draft so far, by the way.
Hey,
Strong
this-
I
draft
would
so
say.
far.
I would say so.
This one's only going to go out to a couple people, kind of, but this man was a pillar of the community that I grew up in, right? This man worked in a gas station and would sell us cigars at fucking 14 years old.
Ganja.
My civilian pick is
Liam's
Ganja
gasp
Man.
is my favorite thing.
Ganja
Hold
Man.
on. Ganja
I love when
Man.
Liam gasps.
So there was an older Indian feller, and I mean off the boat Indian, could barely understand what he
Wait,
said.
is this the mobile?
The mobile, yes, Sean.
Yeah, I remember him.
So
I remember
Ganja Man,
him.
this is how awesome Ganja Man is, right? I used to have full-blown conversations with this man, and neither of us spoke the same language, right? But if you know, you know, right? This is back when you had like your cigar choices for blazing trees was like a Dutch, a regular
Dutch,
Dutch, and a
yeah.
regular Philly. That's it.
Yeah.
They didn't even have flavors
Also,
yet.
Also, as a guy who doesn't live there, this is not the first time I've heard Ganja Man mentioned on the show
Yes.
between Steve and
Ganja,
Liam.
a
Like
legend.
they've made this joke a couple times before.
So we would roll in there in a car with like fucking, 5 deep of 14 or 15 and 16-year-olds. And we just walk up and we're like, yeah, we need 4 Dutches and 7 blunts and 2 packs of cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes for all the weed. They were like, oh, yeah, no doubt. Ganja Man, grab it, right? So Ganja Man, I don't see him for years. I move away. I grow up. You're out of the scene after like the end of high school. I don't see this motherfucker for like 15 years. Now it changes over to Luke Oil, some other shit, right? I stopped there one day and immediately I hear, oh my God, it's you. How you do? I was like, oh my God, it's fucking Ganja. And me and Ganja had a thing wherever he would see me and I would pull up with a girl, he would yell boom boom.
Oh my
So I guess
God,
apparently boom boom is like bang to him, slang in whatever village in India he's from. He'd be like, you got the boom boom? You out there doing the boom boom? And I would just scream back at him, boom boom. We fist bump, and then he would sell me whatever I fucking wanted. But shout out Ganja Man, original legend in my neighborhood. It was a mobile, and there was no age restrictions for anything in that mobile. Let's just say it was a free for all at any age, and that's all because of Ganja Man, who still works there like a stud. Shout out Ganja Man.
I believe his name is Casham, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I cash him. That's Ganja Man, though. And plus, he would always say it because he was wondering why kids could smoke that many cigars. And we're like, nah, we don't smoke cigars. We open them up and we're trying to tell him. You dump out what's in it and you use that to scroll a L. And he's just like, I have no idea what they're saying. And then it turned into Ganja. And
He's like,
He
okay,
got it.
thank you. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
We used to try to make him come out with us all the time. We're like, we going on an L ride. Come on, jump in, Ganja Man. He's like, I am going nowhere with you fucks. We're like, all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Ganja Man works 24-hour shifts.
Yeah,
yo.
he was there
Wait.
all day, every day.
What is this, the mobile on Sumney Town, right by your shop, Steve?
No. This was the one that if you were coming out of North Wales and you were passing like Pembroke going down North Wales Road and Main Street in Lansdale, North Wales Road and Main Street. Right there on the corner.
Oh, it's a Lukoil now, right?
Yes, that's what I said. It's changed hands.
Right,
Yes.
Was that
Okay,
considered?
Yes.
Was that considered Lansdale or North Wales?
No, that's North Wales mailing address. Actually,
Is it?
no, because it's across the street. It might be Lansdale. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I never know.
But
Well,
Ganja Man, yo. Legend.
Dude, that I remember that gas station. Like it turned into something weird. Like when you would go in there was like a room. Like if you went all the way to the back, there was always like these Asian guys like hanging out there.
It
on
is
the
like
show.
that, yeah.
I was like,
They
what is
had the
going on
auto
here?
shop in there. Yeah. It's
And they
real
like
weird how
live
it's set
there.
up. I
Yeah.
know. There's like a bed and like a sink. I see like a pop-up shower. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is-
They
I'm
had,
buying
like,
a
an Xbox
Gatorade.
back there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a Gatorade, and this guy's shaving his fucking neck right behind. Like, what is happening, yo?
Yeah. I was like, all right, well, good. All right, nice. Okay, very good. Good pick there for start
Ganja
of
Man.
round 3. Ganja Man, shout out. Lasmeeshma, your third pick. Let's go.
So for my third pick, I'll do Famous Alive, and I'll do Danny Trejo.
Ooh.
Because like he had like a really tough life growing up. Like he got like abused when he was a kid and shit. And then
Really?
and then he spent a lot of time on the streets. He was in like gangs and shit. He spent time in like different jails. He was in San Quentin. Then
So
he
he's
like
a legit.
yeah, he's
dude.
a G like in real life, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but then he got out of jail and just decided, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to turn my life around. Actually, when he was in jail, he would just like rehearse movies or something, he was saying. And then like, you know, then he got into movies and dude, he's been in so many movies. Like you're talking about going on like IMDb and deep dive, like he's got so many movies on there, dude. He's been in a lot. He was in Heat, like if you go back to the 90s, he's in a lot, dude.
Dude, and he's like a great, like he's one of those guys that was so good as a villain that people were like, oh, I want to see this guy. Like he just became like a legend for being such a good villain, and now he was like in everything. You know what I mean? Like everyone just fucking loved this guy.
Yeah, he's done voice work and stuff too. He's done a lot. He's awesome. Oh, and he just beat liver cancer too.
Did he really?
Yeah, he had liver cancer and he beat it, and now he's cancer free.
Nice. Shout out. Fan of the show, listen to the show.
Danny
All right.
Trejo's a beast.
Danny
I used to listen
Trejo.
to a podcast. It was a movie podcast, and one of their categories was, would this movie be better if Danny Trejo was in it? And every single time they found one character in the movie who were like, Danny Trejo could have played that dude. And it would have been a slightly better movie. It would have been 4% better if he played that waiter or whatever. But yeah, I mean, and you know, he's like 5'5". He's a small dude.
Oh, wow. I must tower over this guy.
But he has a massive full fucking front tat. And he doesn't look small. Like when you see him, he doesn't look small, but he's actually kind of not a big dude. But yeah, cool story. And every time you see Danny Trejo, you're like, oh, we're having fun now. All right.
Yeah.
We're
He's the man. Nice. So, okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I'm going to keep moving then. My pick for round number 3, I'm going to go with my fictional pick, and I'm going to take the man, the myth, Tony Soprano is going to be on the show. Tony Soprano.
I thought of that,
out.
Maddie. That was definitely on my paper. I thought of it, and then I almost was going to be like, I wanted to sneak that in. I would have if it was an alive person. I'd have talked to James Gandolfini, but I was like,
to be fair, both would have been good. You know what I mean?
The Tony one was a huge one. I love that pick.
Yeah, he would be awesome if we could get Tony or Paulie Walnuts.
Oh
One of
my
those guys.
God.
Or Chrissy.
Don't start shitting on your pick, Maddie. Like, you made the Tony, so I'm stuck on the Paulie Walnuts because
and Chrissy, come on, you can't throw these guys out.
You're right. All right.
How about the introduction? Hold on, to Tony when he's in the first season when he flies up in the car and he fucking runs the guy over outside of the fucking the
college
office. Yeah. He starts beating the shit.
Meadows looking at schools.
Yeah. Oh no, that was further in the very first one. The guy just owed him money. It was outside of like a business complex.
Yeah.
And there's like the first episode.
Dude,
yeah, that shit was what a show.
I saw a clip on, like, you know how they do those minute clips on YouTube. I saw the one the other day where the guy, I guess his name was like Coco or something, was like he fucked with Meadow. Right when Meadow was out on a date and he like said shit to her, and Tony just walked in and he ends up curbing him on the bar rail. And then
that got real bad real quick.
And then he's at the appointment later with the doc, and he pulls the tooth out of his pants.
Out of his cup of his fucking.
Oh, I was like, this is so like. I was like,
and then
so
at
good.
the same token, when they had the intervention for Chrissy, he loved animals so much. Remember the ducks in the pool, and then the dog when he fell asleep.
Geese,
with the dog,
man.
They're like, hold on, Chrissy's he got a huge drug. It's his nephew, and he's like, hold the fuck on. You killed the fucking dog. What's the fucking matter with you? And they're like, no, it's not about the dog. It's about his drug use. He's like, no, fuck that. You're a retard. How the fuck did you kill the dog? So I should fucking smother you.
Poor fucking Chrissy, man. I wanted that movie to work, man.
Yeah.
I wanted that movie to work.
So did I.
I wanted it to work. I love it.
I would have loved to have like, I would love to have him on the show. Be like, all right, Tony, if you could whack anybody in your crew, who would it be?
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Right. And that's. I don't know that it's a great interview.
Be like, Tony, if he would. I mean. Let's just say, for layman's sakes, he opens up.
He's gonna open up.
Yeah,
right. Be like, Tony, true or false? Did you bang the doctor?
Yeah. Yes.
Just drug
him.
him.
A young Lorraine Bracco, like,
she get it.
She aged. So she was
when Leota's peeling it off.
When she's screaming
when she
at
wants
him
to
in
go
the street.
shopping in Goodfellas, and she just goes, whoop.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
right.
That's a gal.
The best.
Do you guys remember why Big Puss turned states?
He got caught with heroin.
He did. And do you know what he had to do? And this is one of my favorite things. I went to Villanova. It's one of the lamest schools on the entire planet. But Pussy on the boat goes, I'm trying to put 2 kids through Villanova. And then they murder him and kick him off.
Yeah.
But
then he
that
swims
was
with
his
the fishes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that on?
Spoiler.
That was on the
spoiler alert.
That was on the Stugats too, right?
20
years
years
when
later.
he had the Stugats.
Yeah,
right?
it was like middle of
Stugats.
season 2, towards the end of season 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Bumping the music at that guy's house he got a beef with.
So,
That boat was
right.
the shit.
Nice.
Stugats ruled.
So yeah, the Stugats is great. All right, so let's keep moving. Sean Douglas Day, your third pick, please.
So do you guys watch Yellowstone?
Oh hell yeah, I watch
Sure do.
Yellowstone. So good. Did you see
Yeah.
1883?
Dude, really good.
Oh, dude, that was
And
an incredible show.
And I got in so much trouble because I was binge watching it downstairs.
Yeah.
And I just could not stop watching it. My kids kept walking into the room.
Yeah.
And every single time my kids came in, there was like an axe being
fucking-
thrown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's an
I'm like, God
Apache
damn it.
scalping somebody. Yeah. Dude, 1883 was fantastic. That was a great. And did you see the preview? They're doing another prequel, 1923. Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren are in it. It's going to be awesome. So
Well, I
good.
live in
Holy
Texas
shit.
now. Obviously, I live in Texas. So I get all the local news. Some locals spotted Yellowstone folks, cast people filming in North Texas. So there's something going on right now.
dude.
But anyways,
Okay, yeah. One.
John is gonna be your fictional
John
character.
I was
it's
gonna
my
say,
fictional character.
yeah,
I wasn't sure
yeah.
you guys watched it because I'm a farming nerd.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys. are
Dude,
not
I
those
love
shit,
the
but-
show. Yo, I love the show. Yeah.
But it's John Dutton III.
Oh
Yo,
man.
Kevin
What about Rip?
You know what? Rip has a cool story. You know, he's
Well,
cool
let's
too.
just
'Cause
say-
he has
well, just to be fair,
Well, I mean, like, for me-
wherever
I-
John
for
goes,
me-
Rip goes too. Just saying.
well, you know what? Come to think of it, Rip's cool too because Rip, I like that rags to riches story because
Yeah,
John Dutton, he's just, at the end of the day, he's a rich kid.
true.
He's a fucking rich kid.
Fighting for his land.
Yeah, fighting for his land. But Rip came from nothing.
Rip
Like,
had to
absolute
murder his
nothing.
own dad. Spoiler.
But I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go with John Dutton.
Yeah.
Because if you see in season 5 now he's spoiler alert, he is now the governor. So I mean, it's badass, dude.
No, dude, he's awesome. And dude, it is Yellowstone's a great show. Really, really good. But
Yeah.
1883, how awesome was Billy Bob Thornton's cameo in 1883?
He was awesome.
He came in, his line was, he's like, there's only one murderer in this town, and it's me. And he's the marshal of the town. It was great. So
He did the
all
same
right.
thing in Fargo 7 years ago, dude.
Oh,
He
did
did
he
the same
really?
thing. He showed up and was like, I'm the baddest dude here. And everybody was like, fair. Yeah.
Thanks for
you got
fucking
crazy eyes,
ruining it. Jeez.
No, that's funny. Like I
No,
talked
he's
to him.
the
Never,
first episode of season 3. You know, he lets you know right away. Like,
no, it's funny. Like your choice, Matt, is because like people, there's some people that have never watched Yellowstone before, and they're like, what's Yellowstone? I'm like, it's basically Sopranos, but like in Montana with ranchers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
I would agree.
It's Sopranos. It's like mafia
Yeah.
shit, but with like ranchers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And it was like, no, you're 100% right. Except for, I feel like maybe the ranchers are more loyal.
Maybe.
The Duttons, maybe. Well,
Well,
you
no,
know.
no.
Well, dude,
no,
if you look at
'cause
Jamie,
they-
Jamie's just a piece of shit too.
No, because I mean they had the railroad. Remember, like how many people get killed by the railroad? You know, they got to take them out to the railroad.
Take him to the
and they
train
shoot
station.
'em.
Take him to the
Oh,
train
yeah,
station.
yeah, sorry, yeah, the
Take him
train
to the
station,
train station.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there were some folks that had to get taken care of.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So okay. So we're now at Bern's pick for round 3. Benoit Podcasy. Go right ahead. You've done, just an FYI, you've done Famous Alive and your Civilian. So go right ahead, Bern.
this man was putting together a special team, and he needed himself 8 soldiers, 8 Jewish American soldiers. I'm taking Aldo the Apache as my fictional character, Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards.
Oh wow.
What a wild movie, yo. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
And what a bad motherfucker.
Yeah,
that
for real.
is. So Aldo Rain,
Lieutenant
aka
Aldo Rain.
the Apache, is my fictional character.
Hell
He
yeah.
was
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm married to a Jew, as you guys know. So like that movie to me was like so satisfying. I'm
It's really
like,
cathartic.
I'm like, that's what I would do. It's exactly what I would do.
The end, he carves
Fuck
that
yeah.
shit in that pussy's head.
Oh,
Well,
the
at the
Bear
end, right,
Uden.
Christopher Waltz makes the deal, he makes the trade, and he's getting out of there alive. And they show up in the forest, and they kill the other guy, and he's like, "No, you can live, but I'm
Hold
gonna."
on. You're never taking that uniform off.
Yeah.
The
Bear Uden.
the conversation about the basement, when he calls out
That
the Bear
was
Jew,
wild.
and
Ooh.
there's a line in the speech he gives where he says, and once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only: killing Nazis. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I sure as hell didn't come down from goddamn Smoky Mountains, cross 5,000 miles of water, fight my way through half of Sicily, and jump out of a fucking aeroplane to teach the Nazis lessons in humility.
Love it.
Nope.
I loved how he said Nazis too.
Nasty.
Yeah,
These
the
damn
Nazis.
Nazis.
Goddamn
But I didn't-
Nazis.
And he's talking about, you owe a debt. I
Yeah.
need scalps. And I want my
100.
scalps.
100. You want to join my team? Join my team. But I want 100 scalps before you can
100
leave.
Nazi scouts.
Yeah. Love it. I love it.
Aldo
That's
the
a
Apache.
great one. That's a great one. All right. So okay. Then we're starting round 4. Benoit Podcasy. I believe you have famous
Dead.
dead. Okay. Go ahead with your last pick. What do you got?
Not necessarily. I've been really thinking about this one because there's one that will endear me to Philadelphia fans, even though I actively dislike the Eagles, and I was happy that they lost on Monday night. But there's a dude that I can't deny. I think the Minister of Defense, Reggie White, would be one of the greatest guests on this podcast
Hell yeah.
of all time. You could put him on the Tuesday show, you could put him on the Wednesday show, you could put him on the fucking Sunday show you haven't even invented yet. But not only was he a fucking monster, but he was a great interview, man. And he was a dude who just didn't give a shit and was like, yeah, no, I'm not happy here. This is what happened here. So this guy screwed up. Also, I love Jesus. Also, this was my fault. Like, he just
And he was
seemed
a
like
leader.
and he was
Leader.
like
And then
ahead of his
remember,
time.
remember his safety dance? That's like
Yep.
remember the
Yep.
everyone,
Oh yeah.
everyone knows the
Where
safety
he's running
dance.
around doing the fucking thing.
Dude, do you
But
remember?
and another thing, remember this guy was an outlier amongst outliers because he would the slow-mo film or the slow-mo of him doing the one-arm swim and just lifting grown
Stupid.
tackles off their feet.
Bro.
And he wasn't bigger than them. Lifting
So-
these enormous gargantuan tackles one-handed and just throwing them in the air to get
For
just
some
superhuman strength.
for some reason in Wilkes-Barre, right? I
Got
was
my
in
buddy
grade
shirt
school.
on for that fucking pick, by the way.
Oh,
Got my
nice.
buddy fucking Ryan Bird
Nice.
shirt on.
I was at my buddy's place and my buddy's house in the same town. He had tickets to the Kingston Armory, which is where I don't know, the circus goes and shit. Like when they come in, or every once in a while there's a concert there, and it was like a Globetrotters game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I saw Mike Mamula throw a dunk. down, and it didn't look bad. Like Reggie White was one of the dudes who was there. I was like 7, and he was just nice to everyone. And I was like, God, I hate the fucking Eagles, but God, this guy, I would wish this guy to be on my team every year for the rest of my life.
Oh, he was the best.
And even after he left Philly and went to Green Bay and won that title, he never said a bad word about it. And even though
he was still loved.
God, I miss Philadelphia. I loved living in Philadelphia. I was there for 17 years. If we could make it back, I'd make it back in a fucking second. I live in New York. Nothing cool's happened here since the Articles of Confederation were signed in 1774. So like I would be fine to leave, but I think I didn't want to play to the crowd. But Reggie White, man, he'd be the best guest on this podcast of all time.
He'd be pretty good. Yeah, too. Did you ever see the video of him when he's at that he's giving a speech at the vet, and he right before he gives the speech, he finds out Jerome Brown died?
Yeah, that was wild.
God damn, that's a tough fucking dude. That's a tough one to watch without being choked up.
But he was a spiritual dude. He was a godly man. I'm not, but I respect that he was. And I couldn't imagine then giving that speech after finding that out.
Yeah.
He a fucking mess. He was a dude.
Totally. Nice. All right. Sean, your 4th pick. So you did your fictional, you did your famous alive, your famous dead. So now you need your civilian, right?
Yep, civilian.
Go ahead. Who do you got?
Yeah, so this guy was a professor. He had a PhD from UC Davis in agronomy. Agronomy is the study of farming. But he was like one of the most capable men I've ever seen in my life. He grew up as a farmer in California. He grew like everything you could possibly think of. And then got drafted into Vietnam, and then he decided he was going to stick around for another deployment. So he got forced to go, and it was like, you know what, I'll stick around for another one. And then he came back and got a PhD in agronomy, and then became a professor. And he was my professor. He was the farm manager. So he like taught me how to do everything. Like he taught me, this guy could do literally everything. I mean, if he could fix a small engine, he could fix a diesel engine. He could
one of
drive
them
tractors.
guys.
He could look at like soil chemistry and like look at the chemistry of the soil and be like, okay, it needs this much, and these are the measurements, and this is how fast the tractor needs to go to get this amount of pounds per acre. And then he could teach. He knew like statistics. He was a MH60 mechanic, same as my dad actually, on helicopters. Like this fucking dude, he's just like one of those dudes. Like he knew like everything. He knew how to weld. He could do like literally everything, and he also had a PhD. Like he was the most amazing dude I remember in my life. Like if I had to pick anyone for a zombie apocalypse team, like he'd be like one of my first picks.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The guy who understands chemistry and mechanics and engineering. Yeah, give me that guy. I need that guy right now.
Yeah, and he could farm anything. Like he literally was a professor. He had his own side businesses. He can make wine. He had his own wine business. He knew how to like grow olives and make olive oil. Like the dude knew everything. Like he could grow corn and make whiskey from it. Like I'm like, dude, what in the fuck? Like from like natural yeast. And I'm like, how do you know all this, dude? Like,
he just does. He's like, I don't know. Been doing it for a while. I just know.
He's like, that's what I do. He's like, I make wine, I drink beer, and I know stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, dude.
Hell yeah.
Nice. All right.
But anyways, cool. Last point. He's part of why I got my job here in Alvin as a farm manager, because he was my reference, and he like gave he was
and what was his name again, Sean?
Dr. Tim Smith.
Hell yeah, Tim.
Yeah, and he's part of why I got my job, because he was like, hired this dude. Hired him.
Love it. Cool. Great pick. Nice. All right. So my 4th pick, my last pick, it's my civilian pick, and I'm going to go with, we've talked about him on the show a bunch of times, and it'd be great to have him on. I'm going to go with my dad.
Yes, please.
If we could get him on the show,
that'd be amazing.
He was quite the talker. He could spin a yarn. He could tell some stories. He had a crazy history, but he'd be a hoot to have
and
on
was
the show.
Always fucking ready for whatever.
Ready for whatever. Amen.
Ready at all times, yo.
I feel like I can confidently say that, as far as at least what we've seen on this podcast, there is no person Steve respects more in the entire world than your dad. Like he has never
It's up
missed a
there.
single opportunity to be like,
Yeah.
that dude was a fucking dude. I
I
only
mean,
met
I've
him.
seen some giants, and this man walked amongst them, and they looked over and they were like, I'm
fuck
going
is
to
that?
slide out of the way a little bit. Let's move out of the way for Mr. Old Lavelle right there.
Yeah,
Let
he
him
could
walk
be
by.
intimidating.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, he scared the shit out of me when I was a young bull. Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Maddie. I mean, honestly, I picked John Bell, but my second choice was Millie, because I just thought, what if we get Lavelle's mom on
I
this
would
podcast,
never
kick him
ever.
out, allow his mom to host, and then we all just drill her for like hilarious information about Lavelle. But when all was said and done, I mean, John Bell beat your mom, you know.
Yeah,
Take that for what it's
justifiably,
worth.
dude. I would never in a million years let my mom on this show.
I know, that's why I was gonna pick it.
Yeah, honestly, it's not because she would be a bad guest. It's because in the edit of her episode, like for approval,
You'd be so
I
annoyed for
I would
everything she
never
said
hear
because
the
you've been listening to it
fucking
your whole
edit.
life. Yeah, I know, dude. I know.
Oh,
Doesn't
I would
matter.
it would just be the worst. Like I have heard my mom's husband, my stepdad Don was on the show, and I have his episode, and he's listening to it for approval now. And I told him, I was like, do not let my mom listen to this episode, because she's gonna try and get in your head and say like this shit needs to be cut for this bullshit reason
Don.
when it
Yeah.
fucking doesn't. So we didn't even curse on that episode. We did it clean. So
Yeah,
Did it the God's way.
non-cursor.
we
Get it
did.
the Lord's way.
It was, dude.
Hell yeah.
It was tough. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I
It
can
was
imagine.
a tough one. But so, all right, Lasmeeshma, your last pick. What do you got, baby?
So
Civilian, right?
yeah, so this will be a
Civilian.
civilian. Would you count a serial killer that was never caught that's like walking around in the world right now?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Cut
Like if you
this.
could somehow,
Is he famous?
like, yeah. So
Is
you have
he
this-
on the show right now?
No,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
that. Like if you could get the Zodiac killer to come on like with his face blacked out, but
Ew.
like you could like interview him.
I don't
Like
know.
he's kinda
Lasmeeshma,
famous.
The whole thing about the civilian,
This
wasn't-
one's
it's not a
tough.
famous person. So if it's a
Okay.
famous person, I don't know.
So you got vetoed
all right,
on that. Yeah.
well, all right. That's why I asked. So I do have a pick that might even
Hell
be
yeah.
better. Have you guys? Well, so Charles Ramsey doesn't count. The guy
I
that
don't
was-
know who that is.
So
the fucking
he's
chef dude.
no the guy who says like it's
That's
dead.
Gordon
no,
Ramsay.
Oh
the
yeah,
guy who-
same dude.
No,
No,
Same
Charles
dude.
Ramsey murdered 13 pregnant
So, all
women.
right,
and ate
all right,
of their
Liam,
scalps.
go ahead. What were you gonna say?
he found all those chicks that were kidnapped in the house, and then remember his like television interview was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
He's like it's a
That
dead
fool.
giveaway. Yeah, he's like we used to eat ribs with this dude. He got some major testicles. You remember that guy?
Yeah,
He was the
that
fucking
was
best,
wild.
man.
That is
All
hilarious.
right,
Where
I
was
you
it?
think-
want to? I mean, I
Was
didn't
that in
know who he
Ohio or
was.
some shit? Where was it that those girls were in the basement?
Oh, dude, I don't
Cleveland.
know.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I
of
said
course.
Ohio.
Cleveland.
I said
Surprisingly,
Ohio.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Nah,
That
'cause
dude's
I-
was
not a
wild.
civilian.
I-
He's a mass kidnapping murderer. I only know about him from
Yeah,
cable
yeah,
news.
you're right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I just remember it was Cleveland.
Don't get
from
me
that-
wrong. John Bell will kill just as many bitches if that's what it takes for him to win this category. I'll call him right now, but I don't know. Civilian's weird. It's weird, Liam. I know. I copped out. I just
That's
picked.
why I went Ganja Man.
Yeah,
I didn't know
right.
how to do it. I almost went Lin's den runner, but I didn't do it.
I
Yeah.
feel like not as serial killer though.
So, all right, Liam, who do you have for a civilian?
Charles Ramsey.
The bull who found the broads. I know. Isn't
If-
he kind of famous though?
If he's been on, like, if he's like, I don't
He
know.
saved a bunch of people as just a regular.
And
dude.
that is a
I think that's
viral
fair.
cut of a video that's always going to be legendary.
Yeah,
for
it's
that
not
guy.
like it's not like he's like was famous before that, and it's not like he's even really famous now. You
Oh,
didn't
he's
even
I
know
would've-
his,
famous.
you didn't
I
even know his
would've known
name when
his
I
name.
said it.
Exactly.
I don't
No.
know. his name.
I thought he
think it
cooked
counts.
chicken.
I think that's good. I think it counts.
You just said it didn't.
No,
I
they said
needed
that
to
they
hear
said the
what it was.
serial
I
killer
didn't know
count.
what it was. The guy who saved the girls is just a dude walking down the street with his fucking dog.
Fair
You know
enough.
what I
we'll
mean?
allow it. Yeah, we allow it.
All
And he
right.
also,
I'll
since
vote
we
it
don't
in.
know his name, he also hasn't made any real money or gotten any kind of fame out of the deal. So just by
All
the
right.
nature of us not knowing it.
Charles
It
Ramsey
counts.
it is. Okay.
Not to be
so-
confused with Gordon Ramsay, apparently.
No, yeah, apparently, yeah.
Oh, I.
And my car lights are on, so I'll be back.
Fair
All
enough.
Why the fuck? All right. Yep. Go do that, Liam. Okay.
That's why I ran away before.
Yep. Good deal. So
Steve.
we're coming to the last pick.
I
So-
saved my best one too.
All right.
Oh,
Well, that's
man.
usually how it
Fictional
goes. So,
character for
So,
Steve. I cannot
yep.
fucking wait, dude.
very good. So let's recap real quick. So thus
Yep.
far in the draft, in the first round, Steve did Socrates, Liam did John Rambo, I did Sylvester Stallone, Sean did Richard Marcinko, and Bern did Jordan Belfort. To start off round 2, Bern did John Bell, Sean did Fritz Hobart, I did John Wayne, Liam did Hunter S. Thompson, and Strong Sam went with fucking the bad man, Billy Clinton. Might be the
God
pick.
damn
Billy
it,
Balls.
fucking Steve. He always steals the
Yep.
draft.
Billy Balls.
And then to start off round 3, we had Steve go with Ganja Man, an N-Dub legend. Apparently, I don't know him, but either way, Liam.
You've definitely crossed paths
I
with him
definitely,
at one point in your
I
life.
definitely bought stuff off him. I just didn't
Yeah.
know that was his name. And
Yeah.
then Liam did Danny Trejo. I did Tony Soprano. Sean did John Dutton III. And Bern went with Lieutenant Aldo Rain. Then, to start off round 4, Bern went with the Minister of Defense, Reggie White. Sean went with Dr. Tim Smith. I went with my dad. Liam went with Charles Ramsey. And to end round 4 and the draft, Steve, who is your final pick?
I just
Fictional
have to ask
character.
The question. I have to
Fictional
ask the
character,
question
right?
first. Is the light shining off the gold good enough? Is it hitting in an angle that you can see
It's
it and you can
blinding me a
understand it?
little bit,
It's,
All right,
it's,
good.
but it makes
it's
sense.
great. Yeah, it's
Now
great.
you're gonna have to hear me out with this one, okay? So my
Okay.
fictional
wait.
character is E.T.
This
So listen to me.
That's such a
Listen
good
This
to me.
motherfucker.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You're talking about a
Fuck
guy that got
you.
left here from another planet, right? And hold on.
This
Hold
motherfucker.
on. Hear me the fuck
This
out before you guys
That's-
chime in.
that's the
Hear
best
me
pick.
out. Hear me
It's
out.
probably good.
Hear me out.
You're probably right. God damn it. Fucking Steve.
Listen, he's from another planet. They leave him here, right? He gets scooped up. Him and the boy have a thing. Next thing you know, he's drinking beers. Remember, Young Bull's drunk because he's drinking beers, right?
Oh my
He's drinking
God.
beers for Young Bull. Then he decides that he wants Young Bull to get pussy. So next thing you know, he's kissing the hottest girl in school, right? Now, after he drank the beers, kissed the bit, he's stealing ambulances when in the back. They're going through car chases. I mean, if
They have
there could be-
clearance.
I just need to talk to, apparently, if the aliens came down and picked somebody up and fucked up, it might be me. And I feel like this would be the reverse situation. If I went to the different planet with all ET and his boys, they'd be like, one night out with me, they'd be like, hey, we're gonna take this guy to the bar. Fuck it. Next thing you know, I'm like blacked out, running through walls and acting like a retard. They'd be like, oh yeah. So ET, I have to talk
Steve's
to this
pedaling
man.
so hard.
And
Steve's
wanna
pedaling
know
so
why-
hard.
I want to know why he had a phone home. How good is home if drinking beers and kissing broads and yeah, you got the FBI running after you. So what? Whatever.
Reese's
But
Pieces, you know.
You're having fun,
good.
right? So
Wow.
I gotta know. I gotta know.
Trick or
ET, man.
treat.
I'm going with
Wow.
fucking ET.
I mean, Steve.
Any
what
staple
the
of my
fuck?
childhood,
You
our
did it
childhood.
again.
I fucking
just,
hate
you
Steve.
really like.
If you asked me 6 months ago who would be the best at this, I would have put Steve last on my list. Like, I don't watch shit. I don't know shit. I don't see shit. I only
He
like
only watches good shit.
I like quads and fucking wrestling, and then we do these polls, and fucking Steve comes with ET at the end. What a fucking dick, Steve! I
But
love
how
you.
dope?
Pretty
Like
good
think
one.
about that.
I
guy-
don't-
Pretty
the
good one.
scene where
Why
where
are you
Young
so
Bull
good
is
at this?
drunk because he's
No, you're
ripping
right.
beers because he's ripping beers in
You're
the fridge
correct.
and the kids in
You're
school
correct.
stumbling.
No,
Never crossed my mind.
Dude,
You're
Steve, you
not-
don't
he's
even.
not
I'm
wrong.
You
amazed.
don't
I'm
have to
amazed that
defend.
you know, like,
yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
to
you don't
defend
have
this
to
pick.
defend
This is a
I'm
great
not
pick.
defending him. I'm pumping him
The
up.
reason
I'm saying
I'm
like
mad
he's
is
like the
because you're
greatest
right.
older brother that's ever happened. Like this
Yeah.
dude, he's the man. So I gotta go. I'm rolling.
So,
this tape.
all right. So before we get
God
out of
damn
here, let's finish up with some
Fucking
honorable
Steve.
mentions.
ET. I gotta write ET down.
Steve, who's your
ET.
honorable mention?
So honorable mention. This one I'm kind of going a little goofy too. We can do whatever we want, right? the honorable mention?
Anything you want. Anything,
All right,
anything goes.
I'm going back fictional again, and I want to talk to my friend because I have a big heart, and I want to talk to Sloth, yo. I want to see what's up with Sloth. I want to know how he's
Sloth
doing.
from the
I want to know where he
Goonies?
is. Yes, I want to know what's happening. I want to see what's up with
Sloth
Sloth.
Fratelli, is that right? Would that be
Yes,
right?
it is.
Sloth
He's the
Fratelli?
well, yeah, he's their
he-
brother.
he's a-
He was
he
their
is a
brother.
Fratelli. He's part of
He
the
was their
family.
brother. So yes, sir. So I want to
Then
talk
Steve
to Sloth
shows his
Fratelli
sensitive side.
and
Fuck
see where
you,
he's at.
Steve.
I love
God
Sloth,
damn,
man.
why is he so
My
good
boy.
at this? Why is he so
My
good at
fucking
this?
boy
God
right
Very
damn
there.
it.
good. All right, nice. Sean
out, Sloth.
Douglas Day, your honorable mention.
I'm gonna go with Nikola Tesla.
Ooh,
On my list.
Ooh.
On my list. Nice call.
Yeah, it'd be interesting just to talk to him. I mean, obviously, I don't speak his language. We need what is he, fucking Croatian or something? I don't know what he is.
He's a
Croatian.
Serbian. He's a Serbian American. He speaks English. He spoke English.
Did he speak English?
He was Serbian American, so he spoke English.
Nice.
Yeah. No, and like,
Well,
it's
or
like
at least he knew enough English to get like you'd figure it out. You guys would figure it out.
Yeah. So,
yeah, like not even for an interview, like not like for the thought experiment, like not even an interview. I'd rather just do like a walk through society for a day, and like that's the interview, and like just have him like take him like 1856
Like-
Nikola Tesla, and walk him through like
Walk him-
2022. And
Where
be
were
like,
you?
hey,
Like Houston?
like,
Just
hey,
walk
and
through
be
the
like-
city
like-
for the day. You're like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
like, hey,
dude, right?
like how would you change this? How would you change that? What would you do? What would you do? Like, how can we make this better? Like, just pick his brain, like
Yeah.
on
Is
like
your mind
actual
so blown?
stuff. Yeah, just
Nice.
like I can learn some shit from him.
Nice. Good pick, Nikola Tesla. My honorable mention, and I almost picked him. I went fictional again, and I wanted to go with Jimmy Darmody from Boardwalk Empire.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
poor
good one.
Jimmy.
Dude,
Yeah, that's a good one, Maddie.
always want to know what happened to that guy.
Probably should have
Big
put it on
fan.
your squad. I like that one. Who would he
Yeah.
been over?
I did Tony over him.
Nah,
Tony's
you're
a
all right.
fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah. All right.
Also, Tony made it through most of the series, and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Not so
second
much.
season.
You know.
he
Not
was
so much.
done,
Yeah,
right?
not so much.
And yeah,
Yeah, that was a great scene though. Jimmy's death scene. That I remember watching that being
Yeah.
like, this is
Holy
a fucking,
fuck.
this is
Yeah.
a gangster fucking
Holy
scene.
fuck.
This is how you do it.
Yep.
Also,
So-
there's a point to where you're like, I guess I won't have sex with my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good,
Yeah.
good call. That's a good
Yeah.
call. I didn't
Yeah.
think that was on the table. And I'm, don't
Yeah, no,
get
yeah.
killed.
Now that you mention it, yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, Lasmeeshma, what's your honorable mention?
I want to hear El Chapo's story from him.
Hell yeah.
Like
Hell
straight,
Yeah.
yeah, from like beginning to
Ooh.
end, straight from his mouth, not like what you can read,
Whipping
what,
through the
what people
tunnels.
say. Yeah, I want to hear all about it.
Hell yeah.
Nice, very good. All right, and then Benoit Poud Casse, your honorable mention.
My honorable mention, just for the way they would potentially interact with this podcast, which is what I did. Mitch Hedberg,
Ooh,
just
Good one.
a Hedberg run. I mean, I don't care who's on. It was between Mitch Hedberg and John Candy. So like John Candy might have been the greatest guest of all time on this podcast because everybody get it. But I went with Hedberg.
Yeah.
Hedberg. He'd be great.
No, he would be. He would be.
And then I just want to say this real quick. In all honesty, I was torn between Billy Big Balls, and I really thought this one was my real close. That was OJ. I was gonna say OJ, but I couldn't pull the trigger on OJ because it's just too fucked up. So I went Bill Clinton. I had all OJ's stats written out. I was ready for OJ, and he pulled a
I love
curveball.
that Bill Clinton was your OJ backup. Like, oh shit, I don't want to offend anyone. I'm gonna go Bill Clinton on this.
I didn't want it to go dark quick.
No, I was thinking
Oh,
it's funny
excellent.
too, like because you said ET, and I was like, you know what, Alf. Remember Alf?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alf was a
That'd be good, too.
legend. Alf
He
was
was
a
like- he was-
legend.
He was there for years. I mean, like how long
Yeah.
that show? He was just living
Yeah.
there for years.
Yeah, I just chilling in the crib.
Alien life form trying to eat those cats, trying to
Yeah,
get back
yeah,
to
fuck
Melmac.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alpha's a
Hey, remember
fucking-
and like what was it? Burger King. Yeah, Burger King had all the Alf stuff. Remember
Yeah.
back in the
Yeah.
day?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
found a box a few years ago. Like my mom had it, and it had Alf shit like from fucking Burger King in there.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
I should have sold
So,
on eBay. It's probably worth like $1,000 or something. I can't remember.
dude,
it's
probably
either worth
more than that.
$5,000 or $0. But
Yeah.
like, there's nothing in between. Like, people either want it or don't give a shit. But you should throw it up. Definitely throw it up. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. So
Somebody's
nice.
been looking for that one collectible cup for the last 7 years. You might have it just sitting there.
Yep. So, all right, we're coming to the top of time. So, before we get out of here, Sean Douglas Day, anything you want to say to the Sean Douglas Day faithful before we take off? What do you got?
I don't know, man. I'm fucking blanking. I'm fucking sick, and I'm fucking drunk on whiskey right now, and I'm fucking sleepy. I got nothing to say. Go fuck
All right.
yourself.
No, yeah, no, that's
I mean, perfect.
Hell yeah.
I
That's
am
perfect.
absolutely fine with that answer. That's great. So nice. All right, Strong Stem, what do you got before we get out of here?
Two quick things. One thing is we still 8-1. So for all you fucking haters that are,
Yep.
oh, the Eagles lost, we're still 8-1. And the only other 8-1 team, oh, they're one loss. It's us. So suck my cock, the rest of you fucking queers. And
See
a
you
special
soon.
shout out to the
See
rest of
you
these clowns.
soon.
And Danny
See
Dimes
you
about to get
soon.
skull fucked.
you hear what-
Skull
yo,
fucked Danny Dimes.
Did
Wow.
you hear? Wait, did you hear what Saquon called me the other day? This thing came out today. They were in the huddle.
Fucking loser.
No, Saquon goes out there and he's like, yo, if I throw that block, I better see Vanilla Vic behind me. And Danny Dimes was like, okay. And I'm like, wait, are they calling him Vanilla Vic?
Makes
This
no
was
sense.
during the game in the huddle. Saquon was like, all right, Vanilla Vic, but if I'm going to block, you better get out there. And I'm like, wait, does Danny Dimes, one of the lamest dudes who ever existed on the planet, does he have a nickname from a bunch of really exceptional black athletes that's Vanilla Vic? Because
he does. That was one guy. I know.
I have not enjoyed this dude for his entire time. Listen, if he ends up being the dude, then I'll
goddamn
be wrong.
Disgrace bringing Vic's name up with that fucking bum.
Yeah.
Vic had real stats in the NFL. You're talking about this fucking queer?
Well, wait,
Man
we're
had
talking
the
about
most rushing yards in the history of a
We're talking
quarterback.
about Danny Dimes' first 5 years, not his, not Michael Vick's like last 4 years. You know what I mean?
Jesus
like
Christ.
2 careers.
Fuck these giant midgets.
Are you kidding me? Vanilla Vic is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my fucking entire life. And the fact that Saquon said it to him seriously, and he was like, you got it, pal. I was like,
I would love if it was like,
this is hilarious.
If that's what all the dudes on the team, like the athletic dudes on the team, call him that, just to be like, dude, how about fucking Vanilla Vic trying to call that play again? Like,
there's
what
been
a piece
nothing
of shit.
cool. There's
But
been
we
nothing
also
cool
know
about the Giants for the last 10 years. But the fact that Saquon called him Vanilla Vic, I was like, that's fun.
You have to know that can't go on. I mean, Jesus Christ, they got the one bull for bullying at goddamn the Dolphins. You imagine a trainer calls him Vanilla Vic.
Yeah.
This motherfucker would be on the front page of, he's racist and he's mean. And he's like, yo, chill.
It'd be on the front page if he called him, Chocolate Brady. But Vanilla Vic, Vanilla Vic can slide.
Slaps.
It didn't matter. Saquon said it, and Daniel Jones was like, "Ooh, you fucking goober! God damn! Why?" As a Giants fan, I almost my honorable mention was almost Eli Manning, because I thought it would be a really funny person to have on this podcast, no matter what it was.
All right.
But God, we're just destined for.
If you're out there and you want to come on, Eli,
man.
we don't want you.
So,
dude, I was gonna say, like, I got a funny random ass story about Michael Vick.
Uh-huh.
So when I was in Iraq my second time, we didn't have a Navy SEAL dog guy, so we had a fucking Marine come over, and he had this fucking mean Malinois that had like gnarly PTSD. He used to be a good fucking dog, but at this point he was a fucking terrible dog.
It switched.
So like we didn't even like bring him out anymore, but he would cruise around. We'd go on missions and he would just cruise around the camp, and someone bought him a Michael Vick fucking jersey, and the fucking dog had a Michael Vick jersey on. He would just cruise around the fucking camp and just like fucking bark at everyone, try to bite everyone, and he had a Michael Vick fucking jersey on. And he put it on him, and like he was so mean, we couldn't even get it off him for like weeks. He was just cruising around with a Michael Vick jersey. It was all fucking torn up and everything.
I kind of fucking love that.
It was hilarious.
Nice. All right. So, real quick, Bern, what do you got to say before we get out of here?
Nothing, because there we go.
What up?
Okay.
No, we good.
Good. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
What do you got?
Nothing. Just shout out. Good to be back in the pod. I think we had a really interesting draft today, guys, and maybe the most interesting draft that we've actually had. Let's see if we can get that up on some socials. Let's all share it. Let's make sure we can put that poll out there and see if we can get some results. And Yep, I'm emailing everyone a list of the draft. So
I mean, we already know that I
out.
won, but whatever.
Yep.
I didn't answer this time, Steve. Maybe. Maybe not.
Lasmeeshma, what do you got?
This weekend in Buffalo, they're calling for 6 feet. Oh,
yeah.
On CBS Sports, it says they're calling for 6 feet of snow in Buffalo.
That's right.
So if they have that game, it's gonna be fucking cool. So
yeah, it is.
Look out for
6 feet.
the Bills game. Yeah, that's what it's
Is
like.
Is it like a nor'easter or something?
Yeah,
like storm?
Thunder snow.
Yeah, it says it has to do something with the lake being nearby or something.
Yeah,
it builds moisture.
Oh, that's what it's called. Sorry.
Yeah. Remember we had that fucking storm in like, what was it, 97? We had 3 feet of snow in
96
North Wales. 96. Yeah, it was a nor'easter. It's the same storm. It twirls around and just fucking sits there.
Yeah.
Fucking wild, man. 6 feet. It does say 6 feet, so
nice.
I'm sure they're not gonna actually get 6 feet. That's insane.
Yeah. So
but if they got half of that, it would still be insane.
Yeah. So speaking of 6 feet, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle. I'll come today by Sean Douglas Day, Lasmeeshma Liam Reese, Strong Stem Steve Cabot, and the bad boy Benoit Pukase Bern Podcasy. In case you're wondering, we can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Yeah, also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. And you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok. Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe so we can keep this party going. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. Thanks. See ya. All right, we're clear, and we got 5 minutes, so we're wrapping. So, all right, good shit. Also, Benoit, did you see the picture I posted of Sunspear?
I did, and I responded to it. I liked
You
it.
did?
I sure did.
Let me look.
What is it? Did you draw it?
The
Or something?
Sunspear.
Well,
sure it is.
it's the Dornish. It's
the capital of
the
Dorne.
Dornish capital. Yeah,
You know,
and it's
no big
it's
deal.
in the desert, but on a peninsula, and like kind of beautiful, but kind
Is
of
there any hot
foreboding.
chicks there?
Oh,
There are
Dornish
so
women are
many
known
hot
for
chicks
fucking
there.
Oh,
fiends.
And- And even the fives will let you do butt stuff. So the Dornish chicks are the best on the. I mean, would you say, Maddie? Like
Oh, dude,
no one's
yeah.
more experimental than Dornish
Yeah.
chicks.
Oh, dude, Dornish women love their men, their women, and their sex
Dudes,
life spicy.
chicks, whatever. Just jam it up and give me some hot tacos. You know, that's
Yeah.
how they roll.
Yeah. They're pretty spicy, and I kind of love it. So
I think
yeah,
everyone does.
yeah. Also, have we
Butt stuff?
all?
I don't know,
have-
man.
Have
It's
we
not
all?
that-
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I've done it. It's not that
I'm not
cool.
saying it's no. It is what it is. I'm just saying
Yeah.
It's a
like
big mess. It's a lot of
Yeah,
mess.
the way
you know,
Sean just
How
chimed
much-
in all
wait, how much-
confident in the
how much mess.
butt
No,
stuff.
Sean really thought about it. Sean was like,
Hell
all right.
yeah. That
I
was
got
awesome.
4. Let's go through them. That was fine. That was terrible.
Oh,
that
that was
was
awesome.
okay. That was a mess. Like, what's the average here?
It's good for a
Um,
story, but like, you know,
Yeah, it's not necessary.
a vagina was designed, you know.
Yeah,
it's-
for my
it's self-
cock.
It's self-lubricating, you know, it's
Yeah.
got everything going on there.
It's
No one's
fantastic.
got shit coming out. You gotta worry about like diarrhea, like is she Mexican? Did she eat fucking tacos last night? Like you gotta worry about stuff.
Is there
I'm not saying
doo-doo?
it's a big deal. I'm just saying, like, when that shit's on the table, then everything in between missionary position and fucking you in the ass is also on the table. So you don't have to go to the very end of the buffet. You know what I mean? You don't but it just means they're a little spicy.
Little spicy. Love it. And then also, have we watched Andor today?
I have
did
not
so I
seen
can't
today's.
talk about it.
Fuck is Andor?
It's probably the
watched
best
it.
show on TV right
Maybe
now.
the gayest of Steve. It's just dudes just pounding cock
Yeah.
in each other's faces
Going to
for
pound town.
45
Makes-
minutes.
Makes sense.
Pound River.
We're
Makes
on
sense.
episode 11 came out today. I'm sure they're just
Ooh, yeah.
slurping it.
Just
Yeah,
slapping.
Right.
I just love the whole Andor thing because like it's I guess it's a personal thing, but I love like espionage. And I
Yeah.
love seeing like
I love
it's-
menage
that's what Andor is. It's just espionage, and it's like fucking really cool to see.
How do you like? How does a rebellion form? Like it's a bunch
Yeah.
of tiny little sparks, you know?
Yeah, and the politics. Yeah, I love seeing the politics and like the philosophy of it. Like that's the stuff because like I don't know. For me, doing what I used to do as a career, action movies to me aren't that exciting. I like seeing like
Get out of
goes-
here.
goes along behind the scenes.
Hell yeah.
Right, like why? It's cool if something explodes. Why did it explode? Who did it?
Well, no,
Who was
well, no,
behind
from-
it?
oh,
Is
no.
it? Is it a distraction? Is it a part of the plot? Like
Yeah,
Andor
Well, for
is
me-
super.
and no, for me too. Like when I see war movies, like I like the action movies aren't like that exciting. I like ones where it has like it shows the behind the scenes. It's like they go like through all the logistics that like have to go through it, and like the guy's like, "You want to fire this bomb here? Well, you got to sign this paperwork, and you got to do this and this and that."
Yeah.
And I like for me personally, you guys probably don't like it, but like I know like when like you see these cool Navy SEAL movies, I see all the bullshit coming past, and like I see like, oh, the guy's got a big gunfight, but he comes back and like he's got pay issues. He's like, I was in a gunfight last week, and that was a combat zone, and I'm due for combat pay, but I didn't get combat pay. Like for me, that shit's hilarious. Like when they go through like the
that's
nitty-
not how this works, guys.
nitty gritty, and like Andor is kind of getting into like that nitty gritty of like what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, I think
which
that's the
I
point.
like.
Right? I think they said that they were going to do this season was going to span like a couple of years, and they're only greenlit for a second season, and that's going to be like the year leading up to the rebellion. But as far as the show's gone so far and the direction of it and like the vibe of it, Andy Serkis, there were two different speeches in that show. Like Andy Serkis gave that speech, which culminated in the One Way Out. And you're like, that was awesome. And then
awesome.
5 minutes later, Stellan Skarsgård gave that speech of like, what did I sacrifice? Me? What I sacrifice? Oh, any type of human relationship with like, and I was like, we got these two speeches, which are like movie caliber. This is the time we charge speeches within 6 minutes of an episode 10. Like they get it, man. They get it. They get what makes the story work. And I can't wait to watch today's. And I think it's only 12, right? So 11's today, and then next week is the finale.
And then how about Yellowstone? Because I watched Yellowstone season 5, 1 and 2. When's that? Is it? What are the air dates? Is it like a weekly thing now?
I guess so. Yeah.
There's
also
there's another date on it, but I know it just came back in whatever form it just came back in.
Yeah, I did. I got the pass. I got the Apple TV pass
I thought you got Paramount Plus. Is that what it's on, or is it on Peacock?
No, I went on Paramount, but it was like they were showing me fucking commercials, and I'm like, dude, I'm a busy man. I don't have time for fucking commercials.
That's the worst thing ever.
Hey, Sean, real quick,
it's 2022.
How do you spell Richard Marcinko's name?
Yeah, it's an Italian name. A couple of O's
Richard,
in there, a couple vowels.
It's Tulsa King.
M-A-R.
Yes, that's a Stallone show.
I-N-K-O. He's got.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
then
good
how about?
shit, guys.
Hold on. How
What?
about Fitz Hobbit?
Dude, he's like the most important man ever. No one knows.
Habar, I believe.
Yeah, it's Haber. There may be some weird, Haber.
Liam, are you correcting the spelling of my shirt?
No, I'm creating a poll to share on.
I emailed the list if you just wanted to use that, but
your spelling is off, but it's fine.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Remember Sun Tzu?
Yeah. That was a great spell job.
Yeah, I don't really trust your spelling, bro.
Yeah, you shouldn't. All right.
Daddy, we love you to death. You work your ass off, but we do not trust your spelling.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So, all right. This is the end of the episode. Good shit, guys. Love it. Great shit tonight. Great draft. I'll see you guys later.
Great to see you guys, man. Talk to you soon.
All right.
See ya.